Make the ground shake.
Hello everyone and welcome to the FCM 50T review. The tier 8 French premium heavy tank. Now the only heavy about this tank is its size and its weight, because if you look into the armor we can see that it is pretty bad. We have to say that. I mean, on the hull, 120 upper plate, 50 lower plate. At the 50, the lower plate at 50 is at a pretty auto bounce angle, so don't shoot. But the upper plate, even though it's at 120, is almost flat, as you can see here, which means that pretty much anything can pen this, unless it's something like hyper low penetration gun, like on some light tanks such as the AMX 12T, the 1375 or the Chaffee. Other than that, pretty much nothing will have problems penning you. I mean, as you can see here, 150, if you angle it properly without exposing your sight, around 155 at the most. The turret front is also at 20, and it's also pretty flat, which means that again anything that will shoot you will pen you, unless it hits some awkward zones like this, or it just hits somewhere around the side of a turret. Unfortunately about the turret, these shoulder plates are not like something that can be found on the E50M, which are at and out of bounce angle. They are close to it, but just so that pretty much anything that will hit you will pen you on this here. The turret roof at 40 is pretty much auto pen for the guns you will meet at the tier, and the turret hatch is at 80. The side armor at 80 is really good, plus the tracks at 30 millimeters, so side scraping can be done. So far this tank has doesn't live to its heavy tank standard. I mean, the armor is pretty much non-existent for anything of your tier. But this thing doesn't play like a heavy tank. I mean, it is a very big medium tank, because it has a medium tank gun and the mobility is pretty awesome. If we compare it to its obvious rival, the CDC, the MX CDC, which is classified as a medium tank, we can see that the guns are pretty much identical, and the advantage goes to the CDC because it gets improved soft stats such as the DPM, which is slightly increased, and all of these stats around the gun are better, such as the accuracy, the aim time, the dispersion is worse. These stats here around the vehicle moving are better because the CDC is much faster than this. The only advantage the FCM gets is the 10-meter view range, which is quite handy. I mean, 400 meters view range for a tier 8 is pretty good, and I would suggest putting optics, but we will get to that in a minute. So far this thing doesn't really live up to anything quite it doesn't justify at the price of almost 12,000 gold, which is 4,500 more than the CDC. But the FCM has one big advantage which isn't shown here, and that is that this tank does not meet anything higher than tier 9. So 30% of the time the CDC will meet tier 10s, and it will be pretty much it won't be useless, but it will be lacking in its power. And but the FCM is pretty dominant in tier 8 and tier 9 games, but it doesn't meet tier 10s. Now, as we are gonna look into the soft stats more accurately now, we can see that the elevation at 17 is pretty okay, worse than the CDC, and the gun depression is at -8 is one of the best in the tier. I mean, it's not the 10 degrees that the CDC gets, but it's pretty manageable. The traverse at 40 is pretty awesome for the size this thing is, and you will never be circled by any light tanks. The engine power 1000 horsepower, which is awesome, pretty awesome. I mean, this thing can shift. It is faster than any regular tier, than most of the tier 8 mediums. The 51 kilometer top speed is easily reachable. It has to be said, and it could be higher, but 51 is not too shabby. The soft stats here are better than the CDC, but they are pretty bad. It has to be said. I mean, something like an i6 gets half of this, so, but that's Russian, so let's not get into that. The health pool is carries from its heavy tank name, and at 1500 hit points it's pretty okay, so you can take a shot or two. Also, another thing to mention about this tank, its ammo prices are pretty low, so you can just fire all the shots in the world and you will still make money. And at 91, and this tank carries 91 shells, and I'm pretty sure it's not even possible to fire them all at the same time. Now, if you look into the equipment for this tank, as always on any tank in the game, a gun rammer and a vertical stabilizer are a must. And for the third slot, you can either go with optics or vents. I prefer optics because this tank kind of relies on long range support, because the gun is accurate. It has very high penetration at 212, and it doesn't brawl. I mean, it is an opportunistic tank. You have to take your chances with it. So optics combined with a great base view range can help you a lot. For the consumables, you can use coffee, but I don't since I want to make money with this thing, so basically I use pretty much the standard layout: a fire extinguisher, an automatic one, a repair kit, and a med kit. For the crew, you won't be training your crew up just for the FCM. I mean, mine is a 5120 crew at this moment. So for the commander, I would go with 6 cents, since it is a must on any tank, no matter the size or its class. Also, a great thing is recon to increase the view range, and repairs. For the gunner, snapshot is pretty much a must, since you want to make the gun even better at what it does, and repairs. And after that, you can either go with Deadeye or armor. I have Deadeye on it. For the driver, smooth ride, clutch braking, off-road driving, all pretty useful, since off-road driving especially, and smooth ride. And repairs as always. For the radio operator, since this carries as a loader on the regular heavy tank branch, if you get to the AMX50 100 and upwards, you will want to train this up with safe stowage and situational awareness, and repairs just for good measure. The loader, you will have to keep yours from the AMX M4 or something else from the heavy tank branch, because the loader does not carry to the tier 8 and upward tank of the heavy tank line. So because it is basically the only crew member that is just for this tank. I would go with safe stowage, repairs, and maybe after that uh, perhaps adrenaline rush, which can help in those clutch situations when you want to take another shot or two. Anyway guys, enough of the theory about this tank. Let's get into some games. And here we are in the first game in the FCM 50T. It's a standard battle on Siberian coast. It is a top tier matchup, and unfortunately for my team, I'm pretty much the only medium like tank from the tier 8s, while the enemy get 2 of them, which means that it will be harder for me to deal with them. On this map, the position I'm about to use on C1 is quite important, and I would suggest for you to go there if you have any chance, unless you are in something super slow like a mouse. From that position you can pretty much control, you can put down fire in the middle as well, as you will see here. As I spot this T-43, he probably doesn't have 6 sense since he is not even moving, and I won't move up because I don't have that huge of a backup for my team, and I will stay in cover from here at this point. The 112 is with me, but if the enemy are outnumbering us, we might be in trouble. Now I do have side shots on the Achilles. Put one shot in him, we exchange fire, but I come out on top. Now I do spot this Black Prince as well, and RNG is not with me when I take the shots. I mean, look at, he is pretty far, I have to say that, but none of my shots hit where I aimed him. The last one did, but that was only in the track since he was mostly falling back. That was gonna hit if there was not a rock. The accuracy was on top. Now at this point, since the 112 doesn't spot anything, there is no need for me to go there, and there are tanks pushing through the middle, and I will try to put side shots into them. I do put one shot into the T-34 and he immediately falls back. I do spot a bullock, or maybe my team spotted him, and I will try to put one more shot into him, but it hits the ground unfortunately. The 112 seems to be doing okay at this point, and the Deacon must get spotted again, and I leave him on pretty low health, which will bite me in the ass, as you will see. Now the Black Prince again is spotted, and I bounce from his side. I mean, that shot went really low. I think I just track him and nothing more. You have side shots on the IS-3 and I miss. This T-54 is completely in the open and is oblivious to what is going on the map, but that is fine by me. I can always put side shots into him. Do manage to get 2 shots and he pulls into cover, and he is now a one shot range for me. I do try to move up, do have rear shots on the T-28, and now I think that the Dicker Max might not be able to do it, but he is, and he damages my ammo rack for the first time, and I think that now the 112 will take him out, but as it will turn out, he won't, and I do auto him at this point and take him out. Without my repair kit, things could be worse now, but I think I will be doing just fine. I will try to help the 112 with the Panther, but the Panther is in cover, and I will try to focus down what is left on this flank. There were those guys here, and the T-42 was somewhere in the middle. I do have rear shots on the ass, put one shot into his ass, and he gets shot again, and that was an easy kill for me. Now I will try to support the guys here with the T-34 and the T-54 mod 1. The T-34 fortunately doesn't focus me now, and I put one more shot into him. He seems to be giving up at this point. And the T-54 mod 1 isn't even looking my way and gives me his side, so I can put another great shot into his side. The Panther is nowhere near where I am aiming at this point, and I am going down to try to find the remaining campers and the artillery. Unfortunately, those two campers went to our base and they got ambushed by the Borsig and the other guys that were in the base, so that leaves me and the 112 to find the RT, and I am the much faster tank at this point, and I should have the upper hand to take it out. You can really see the mobility of this tank at this point. I'm throttling along at 45 kph, and given the time I will easily reach my top speed on the flat, as I am doing right now. I do think that the artillery might be to the right here, but as I move myself out there, realize there is nothing there, and he is around the K5 area. As I make myself up, I am worried about an ambushing shot. I mean, if he puts a good shot into me, he could one-shot me because artillery is fair and balanced, as we are all aware. I do proxy spot him and he is not even looking my way. Do track him just to be safe, and at this point there is nothing he can do, and an easy kill. GG. Let's look into the post-battle results. Here are the post-battle results of the Syrian Coast game. As you can see, I've managed to pick up an ace tanker, some tokens, and from the battle hero medals a high caliber, because we did okay in the damage department. If you look into the team score, we can see that we did finish top on experience with 1400 base experience and 3.2k damage done and 4 kills, which means that we carried this one compared to the rest of our team. If we look into the detailed report, we can see that we did fire 26 shots, only 20 hit and 16 penetrations. I'll admit some shots I did put up some blind fire, such as one on the Dicker Max and the T28 prototype, two missed, and I did manage to bounce 4 hits, which means that which were on the Black Mist and some other tanks, but overall the gun usually responds better, if I'm honest. From our 3.2k damage done, 1.3k were at a sniping distance, mostly on the Dicker Max and I think on some of the TDs, and we did around 1.5k spotting damage, which was really nice, and we traveled 2.4 kilometers. We did make around 62,000 credits without a premium, and we would have made 100k with if we had a premium account. Sadly, we don't at this point, and for a pretty okay game, that is quite a lot of money. As I said, the ammo on this thing is cheap, so you can just fire it away and you won't feel it, because at 200 credits it is not that expensive compared to any other premium tank that has a higher caliber gun that is around 1000 credits per shot, such as the I6 or the Lova. Anyway guys, that was enough for this game. Let's get into the other one. And Here we are in the second game. It's a standard battle on Pearl River, and this is a very nice matchup for me. I am top tier, and if we look into the composition of the enemy team, we can see that there are no mediums, tier 8 mediums in their team, which is very good for me. Even though they have a super Pershing, as we all know, the super Pershing doesn't play like a medium, it's more of a heavy that is classified as a medium, vice versa of the FCM 50T. On this map, the middle is very important, and I will try to take it. Do put a shot into the side of the leopard, roll pretty high, and with the second shot, I auto-aim him and take him out. Another great thing about this matchup is that there is no artillery, which means that you can play the game as it should be and not camp in one corner trying to avoid it. Usually you can you can catch out any slower heavies that will try to push on the eastern flank, but there was nobody here. I'm worried now about the ISU mostly, but as of now, I will decide that maybe it's time to push and hope that he is not camping in the base. Luckily he wasn't, and I'm still surprised where is all the enemy team. We have only 3 things here. Do have side shots on the super Pershing, put one into him, that's an easy penetration, no doubt about it. As he was falling back, I had to take the shot early. Do have side shots on the IS-3, we'll try to prioritize him since he is a much bigger threat than the M6 that is next to him. Put another shot into him, and I do try to utilize my great DPM with little exposure. Now, since he put a shot into the IS-2 and he fell back, I will try to push this super Pershing here. Do put one shot into his turret hatch, but unfortunately it bounces. I do put another shot in. He doesn't know where to shoot. That is great news for me. He uses the fire extension on 1 HP, which means that I can put a shot into him. He gets shot in the side by my team, and I finish him off as well. 2 easy kills and 1.7k damage done, 1 shot taken, which is very good trade. Now this KV3 came all the way from the middle. He fires, misses, and I do have a better reload than him, but by the time I get there he will be reloaded. Now unfortunately a tiger appears. He luckily shoots the ground, and now I think that the T-32 might be on here, but he wasn't, which means that a tier 8 on 70% of his hit points and a one-shot IS-2 hold off 2 full health enemy tier 7 heavies. Now if they rushed us and killed the IS-2, I would have been able to do pretty much nothing, but unfortunately for me, unfortunately for them, they decide to do nothing. Now you can see that the armor of the FCM, even though it's not very good, it isn't just auto-aim and shoot like the CDC. For instance, if I was in a CDC, all of those shots that hit me would have penned and have done full damage. I see that the tiger takes a shot, and I decide, because my gun is broken, to just aim it carefully. I do repair my gun, and I have built up 4.3k damage up to this point, and the game is not even over. Luckily, from now on I will have some internet connection problems, as you will see. I do put a shot into the ass of the VK. I am at this moment going to him, and since he gets taken out and the T-32 gets taken out, I just decide to go down from here. I don't know how, but I didn't take any damage from there. and I will try to push the charioteer. He is on full HP at this point, but the game is all over for him. He camped all the game, he didn't do anything for the team. Now he gets spotted by the Tiger 2 and the T-150. At this point I just want to get one more kill for the Top Gun. I mean, I've done pretty awesome job for my team at this point. He's on full HP, and now you will see my internet connection failing me and stopping me from getting a bit more damage after this game, even though you can say that I did pretty okay up to this point. Now as I push up here, the T-34 tells everybody that they should let me take the kill, and this is what I was talking about. Just look at that. I would have never done that. I mean, there is no reason for me to do that, and I do take the shot, and I'm about to run into that, and the Tiger 2 takes him out. Pretty angry about it, but that was that, and let's get into the post-battle results. And here are the post-battle results of the second game, played on Pearl River. As you can see, I've managed to pick up an ace tanker combined with some auto tokens, and from the battle hero medals I've only managed to pick up high caliber, but I did pretty okay in the damage department, and I was 1 kill away from a definite Top Gun. If you look into the team score, you can see that we did finish on top on experience by far, with 1538 base experience, which is pretty high for a top tier tank. We also managed to get 4720 damage, which is one of my highest in the FCM 50T, combined with 5 kills. And if you look into the detailed report, we can see that we did fire 23 shots, hit 23 and 22 penetrated, which showcases the great accuracy aim time combination of this tank. From our total damage, only 238 were from sniping distance, that shot on the VK. We did receive 10 hits and managed to bounce 7. I mean, most of them were from the auto cannon that the Leopard gets, but we did pull off few bounces from the Tiger and the KV3, which were not gonna be a possibility if you played the CDC, and that is why I love this tank. I mean, when it kind of can brawl with some lower tier tanks and not rely on its health pool to carry the game. We did spot only 2 vehicles and damaged 7 and destroyed 5, and we traveled 2.3 kilometers in that game. If you look the money that we made, which is why you would be buying this tank, we can see that we did pull off a profit of over 70,000 with a non-premium account, and 114 K if we had a premium. Sadly we don't. And also this tank gets a huge bonus for being a premium tank, and the crew gets trained up really nicely because it does get 50% more experience, so we ended up with 3.2k experience for our tank, and for the crew around 7,000 experience. So the crew gets trained rather easily. I mean, I'm already up to 5 skills with mine. Anyway guys, this was my take on the FCM 50T. To me it is one of the best premiums money can buy, even though it is not cheap, but if you have the money, go for it. You won't regret a decision. It is certainly more fun to play than something like an i6 or a Love, and I fully recommended. Hope you enjoyed this review, and bye for now.